here we begin with the first class for search and Seizure. Search, Seizure, survey. Search and Seizure is a hi-fi name for what we call as income tax raid. If not, you all should definitely watch Raid movie. Ajay Devgan's movie it is. And then one more similar kind of movie in Hindi came, that was Special 26, right? These are the movies that depict, and this today's topic is not a theory topic, it's not a practical topic, it's like a fairy tale. I call it as a fairy tale because it has a procedure that if there is a raid, then how they will conduct, what are the authorities, and how step by step, what are their powers, can they inspect this, can they open the locker, can they visit the neighbor's house and all, and then later on how will they recover the taxes in case of the search, how assessment will be done. So all this is like procedure, and from this straight questions are asked. 3 to 5 marks is the weightage of this topic. Frankly speaking, I can take it at a stretch 2.5 hours. Okay, but I don't want to do that because you all know one first class is always for understanding the core concept. And I feel more than survey तो simple है, business premises door to door, वो कल करेंगे. Search is important. So I am teaching you all the concepts, powers, short notes, questions, what they are asking for search today. Tomorrow, we will revise this again, learn this, and along with this survey and some past exams questions, I have printed with answer in our material that we will take up tomorrow. Okay, right? So in these two classes, we will cover up this, and it's a very important topic. But rather than starting survey, because first of all, who is the higher authorities? I call them higher authorities. Who has got the power to issue this search and survey proceedings? Who will initiate? Frankly speaking, dear students, this is a part of your assessment procedure only. After return of income, the first thing we did was assessment procedure. And in assessment procedure, we have done routine assessment, scrutiny assessment. If you don't file the return, if you don't cooperate, then best judgment assessment, or 147, income which has escaped assessment, that will be taken care by 147. Okay? Right. So now with this, we will take up this whole topic. Actually, it is to be taught there, but already so much of procedure was taught, and then we did appeals, revisions 263, 264. Not to make it monotonous, we have broken it, and वो part खत्म हो गया. Appeals revisions याद है नहीं सबको? High Court, Supreme Court. So that is over there. Also, I have given you comparative 263, 264 is important. So now we are doing this separately. It's a very easy topic. And when I was doing my articleship in 97, with my sir, I attended a live like raid case. In that they can call their CA because the person knows very well how to do business. But when all these procedural things are there, कहाँ sign करना है, पंचनामा हो रहा है, valuation हो रहा है, क्या papers हैं, questionnaires हैं, can they take help? Yes. And so we assisted and we went as an articles. So those experience also which are relevant here, I will share. But these provisions are really very good practical side. One of my friend, he's an expert and he's just dealing with the handling of the raid cases. So this is a very interesting area and you should know inside out. Okay. Now actually search chapter is starting in our material on 141. But why did I open this? Because before we go ahead, who are the income tax authorities who will do all these procedure? So we all know that this hierarchy I have explained you in the assessment procedure, but pretty long back. तो हम फिर से एक बार डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. Unity under the Ministry of the Finance, we have CBDT that takes care of the direct taxes and CIBIC that takes care of the GST and custom. Now, in case of CBDT, we have two departments, assessment wing and investigation wing. Okay, assessment wing will take care of all the routine assessment and investigation wing will take care of all these raid cases, other details, audit, collection of the data and all that. Okay, now assessment procedure wing may the highest authority in the assessment procedure is Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Principal Commissioner and Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals. Are you all with me? नाम थोड़े याद करने होंगे, PCCIT, CCIT, PCIT and CIT. Commissioner of Income Tax and Commissioner Appeals is the first authority to whom SSC can go after receiving the order. So these Commissioner and Commissioner Appeals, इनसे higher है Principal Commissioner, above them is Chief Commissioner and Principal Chief Commissioner. Same way here, Director, Principal Director, then Director General, Principal Director General, followed Principal Commissioner, Principal Chief Commissioner, Director General, Principal Director General. So these are called, whenever I say this will be done, for example, if you want to get a registration of the trust approved and they want to give ATG certification, it's a Goshala or like that, then who will give the higher authorities approval? These, right? So like this, below them is assessing officer. They also have good powers sometimes if the higher authorities are missing, like additional commissioner, joint commissioner. Okay. Below them is the assistant commissioner and deputy commissioner. Below them is the ITOs who help in recovering of the taxes. These all are called as what? AOs. JC, AD, AC, DC, all. Okay. Same way here. Additional Director General, Joint Director General, Assistant Director, Deputy Director, and so on. Okay. Right. So this is the hierarchy of income tax authorities. Whenever in raid case I say higher authorities, you should know this. Is it clear? Apart from this, one more is told to you once you go to Commissioner Appeals. Who? SSE. Then the higher authorities, ITET, last fact finding authority, then High Court, and then Supreme Court. और Supreme Court के बाद कहाँ जाना है? घर जाना. Huh? So directly see this all procedure we have done. Scrutiny and best judgment assessment and 147 and all we have done. Right? तो फिर अब क्या करना है? Let us directly check up. Some notices related question also I have taken in the scrutiny. Directly let us start with survey. Advanced tax and interest is same as in inter. Some more sections are added for refund, but it's a very scoring topic. One shot you can finish collection and recovery of the taxes. Right now I am here. Okay, when we are asking that, okay, the income tax authorities can go for surveys. Surveys inspecting the business premises, sunrise, sunset, या फिर उनके जो working office hours हैं तब. Search and seizure is a hi-fi name for raid. So you know when they are doing these activities, dear students, do the authorities need to have higher power? Yes. उनको books inspect करने दो, उनको questionnaire, they can call people, examine them on oath. ऐसे powers तो देना पड़ेगा ना, otherwise how they are going to work? So here very important is powers regarding the discovery, production of evidence. So do the income tax officers have power of discovery? मतलब they can call for the books of accounts, evidence, proof and all. Yes. Search and seizure, that's what we are going to do. Can they take the books of accounts? Yes. Application of seized or requisitioned assets. Can they take assets? Yes. Can they apply the assets to recover the taxes? Yes. Once the raid case is over, should they release the assets? Yes. They can call for information. Power to survey is door-to-door survey and other information. Power to call for information, इन दोनों में थोड़ा सा फर्क है, that we will check in detail. 133A and B. Power to call for information, we can inspect the registers, who are the shareholders, who are the bankers, loan and all. Power of certain authorities, proceedings before income tax authorities to be judicial proceedings, disclosure of information in respect of SSE. Assessment in case of search. Yeah. Now this assessment is not done in 153A, B and C. तो इसको cancel करके लिख दो. Assessment in case of search के बाद सिर्फ section cancel कर दो और यहाँ पे लिखो section 147, for which you have to send the notice in 148 and then assessment is done in 151, 152 and so on. So whatever assessment procedure, please go and check. When you check, you will recollect, yeah ma'am, it was there. Rate के case में भी income escaping assessment can be done in 147, for which notice is to be issued 148. और वो notice issue करने के पहले भी we can send them summons. काफी सारा procedure है जो ऑलरेडी आपको पढ़ा दिया, तो यू कैन रेफर द टॉपिक. अब ये 153 में ब्लॉक असेसमेंट एंड ऑल नहीं होता. ओके, चलो लेट अस स्टार्ट नाउ. What are the powers of income tax authorities to initiate the search and seizure? Income tax authorities being AODC, JC, PCIT and all, they have the same powers as vested in the Code of Civil Procedure. जो हाई कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पावर है ना, वही पावर है यहाँ पे. डिस्कवरी एंड इंस्पेक्शन ऑफ बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स, असेट्स, प्रीमिसेस, राइट. एनफोर्सिंग अटेंडेंस ऑफ द पर्सन इंक्लूडिंग ऑफिसर ऑफ अ बैंकिंग कंपनी एंड एग्जामिनिंग हिम. सच ही बोलूंगा, सच के अलावा कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा. कैन दे आस्क पीपल टू कम एंड मीट मी इन दिस वार्ड विथ योर books, documents and all? Yes. Compelling the production of the books of accounts and documents. Okay. Can they issuing commissions? So we can issue them commissions like summons, notices and all, and impounding the books of accounts. Whenever books of accounts are seized, just in inquiry, अभी तक कोई raid और ऐसे specific नहीं हुआ है, सिर्फ inquiry में if the books of accounts are seized, then they can seize it for maximum 15 working days. After that, they need to return. Once again, I want to repeat. Raid में आगे आएगा. Raid में they give more time after seizing the books of accounts. और raid खत्म होने के बाद return करने का भी time है कि in this much time it should be returned, right? But it's just when they are calling for all the information, calling the person on attendance, inspecting their books of accounts, calling for all the proofs and all, then they can seize the books maximum for 15 working days. Okay? Right. Now, what do you think when there is a raid? कुछ तो उनके पास information होना चाहिए. This should be talked like orally, very important. Whenever there is raid, what do you think? Should there be like some information with the department? That's why they raid. And when they raid, do you know that they raid simultaneously all the places? Like this is my home and where I'm taking classes is my institute. I'm partner with my sister, so her premises, my neighbor, and we have good contact. I have my native house in Gujarat. I have one locker in Mumbai. I have 2-3 offices in Hyderabad. So simultaneously, all these places are raided wherever they feel that income has escaped assessment and there's huge chances of recovering undisclosed income. So just tell me, first thing, should they have reason to believe that a person has undisclosed income? Answer is yes. Second question, do they need to tell to the SSE? देखो हम आ रहे हैं आपके घर पे रेड करने, हमारे पास ये प्रूफ है. नो, रेड इज ऑलवेज अ सरप्राइज. SSE के घर. अच्छा, and when they go for raid, can they go only in the working time and only in the offices? No. Residence, car, this, farmhouse, all everything is checked. And should they inform in prior? No. Otherwise तो people will manipulate, सब छुपा उपा के रख देंगे, सब हो जाएगा. No. हाँ, once they come, can the SSE से ठीक है गेट तक तो आ गए हो, पहले रीजन दो, ये दो, फिर आने देंगे? Answer is no. They have solid reason. That's why there is raid with so many 100-150 people of staff. They just spread out in all the offices, residence, farmhouse, godowns, warehouses. हाँ, बड़े बिलियनर्स हैं तो उनके अपने पर्सनल बोट्स होते हैं अरेबियन सी में, वो भी जाके देखेंगे. What not? Private jet planes. They can inspect anything. They can take you to banks, take your signature along with them, and they can ask you to open the lockers also. So lot of powers are given in the raid and they should have the reason and recording, but it is not necessary to disclose. Okay, right. And generally if this happens in wedding and all, then they sometimes, like if there's a SSC or unki beti ki shadi chal rahi hai and the department is planning to raid, they need to wait for the function to be over. They cannot absolutely just enter in between the function and do that. Okay, right. As you understand the procedure, it might take time for you to understand the procedure. For me, teaching this topic is easy. As I said, it's a fairy tale. फिर ये होता है, फिर ये होता है, फिर interval होती है, फिर ये होता है. I'll say all the story. But the way they are asking the question in exam is very simple. Theory question, short notes, all they'll give you a case study. Chalo. So now, income tax authorities, when I say higher authorities, top authorities, those are the PDIC, Principal Director General, Joint Director, Assistant, and all. Before taking any action under 132, can exercise above power if he has a reason to suspect that any income has concealed by any person within his jurisdiction, and for the purpose of making any inquiry or investigation relating thereto, it shall be competent for him to exercise the above powers. So they definitely have reason to suspect. Who? Investigation wing, Director General, Chief Director, Deputy Director. And whoever has jurisdiction, they will do it. Above action can be taken even though no proceeding with respect to such person is pending. Can the SSC says एक रुपए भी tax करना मेरा बाकी नहीं है. I've paid all my taxes. I've paid all my advance tax. You can't do search and raid and all. Answer is no. Raid word I'm using because it's comfortable to talk. Don't use it in your material, and even in income tax they call it search and seizure. In case inquiry or investigation related to agreement in 1998, such power can be exercised by income tax authorities not below the rank of assistant commissioner. Dekho, before initiating the raid, the investigation department should have reason to suspect that any income has concealed. Okay, and they can go for this irrespective that above action can be taken even that no proceeding with respect to such person is pending before any income tax authority, or in case inquiry or investigation is related to an agreement referred to in 1990, मतलब अगर DTA है और उससे related है, then such power can be exercised not below the rank of assistant commissioner. But फिर भी they can initiate. In short, even if not a rupee tax is due by SSE, still can the raid be initiated? Answer is yes. Power to retain the books. How many days? 15 days. An income tax authorities may impound and retain the books of accounts and all. However, the AO or an assistant director, deputy director shall not impound any books of accounts, other documents without recording his reason for doing so or retain in his custody. Retain in his custody any such books or documents for a period exceeding 15 days without obtaining prior approval of the principal chief commissioner and all. तो 15 दिन से ज्यादा they cannot keep the books of accounts. Now let us start. This is a pre-operative procedure. Okay, before initiating the raid, can we call for all books and all? Yes. Should we have a reason to suspect? Yes. Even if not a single rupee of tax is due from the SSE, can we initiate the raid? Yes. Okay, right. Now, who can authorize the proceeding under 132? Under 132, the PDGIT is Principal Director General, Director General. Principal Director or Principal Chief Commissioner, Chief Commissioner. Principal Commissioner, Commissioner. So 4 authorities here and 4 there. Shall I show the sheet or clear now? Commissioner, Principal Commissioner. Chief Commissioner, Principal Chief Commissioner. ये 4 यहाँ हो गए. And now investigation with Director General, Chief Director General, then Principal Director General and Principal Director, like that 4 authorities. These are the people who can issue the search warrant. Circumstances when search can be conducted. Why? What is the reason? An authority can direct proceeding against the person where he has reason to believe in consequence of information in his possession, which is something more than mere rumor and gossip. See, such a beautiful language they have given. Can the department say, नहीं नहीं इसके against काफी gossip है, इसके पास तो बहुत black money है, ये है वो है, and on that basis can they do the raid? Answer is no. They have got solid information and proof that gives them the reason to suspect that someone is hiding the income. Any person to whom a summon under 131 or a notice under 142(1) was issued to produce books of accounts, such person has failed to do so. किसी को नोटिस दिए 131 में डॉक्यूमेंट्स लेके मिलने और नहीं आए, 141 का नोटिस इज टू फाइल द रिटर्न ऑफ इनकम, यू कैन राइट, or produce books of accounts and all details लेके आओ, not cooperating. Any person to whom someone or notice aforesaid has been or might be issued, but such person will fail, where you are very sure कि इसको नोटिस देके कोई फायदा नहीं है, इसका तो कोई एड्रेस ही नहीं है परमानेंट. Or any person is in possession of money, bullion is gold, biscuits, silver coins and all, jewelry, other articles. Such money or other articles represents either wholly or partly undisclosed income or undisclosed property. So why they will raid? They have the solid reason, okay? And it's not just a gossip, but they have sent summons and notices. SSC didn't respond. They are sure that if they issue, he will not respond. Or they know that SSC is in possession with gold, jewelry, cash, money, bullion, and these are undisclosed, from undisclosed sources. So these are the three reasons. या तो नोटिस दिए रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं किए, या नोटिस देने से पहले ही पता है कि दे विल नॉट रिस्पॉन्ड, और द एसएससी इज इन पोजेशन ऑफ द valuable things. These are the three cases in which the raid will be initiated. Any conflict in your mind? Any doubt? The reason to believe is they have to record, but it shall not be disclosed to any person or any authority, or the appellate tribunal can conduct search. Income tax authorities have power to initiate search, can authorize subordinate not below the rank of ITO. Okay. Following subordinates can be authorized. This is just for reading up. सारे आपको याद नहीं रहने वाले. When higher authorities have authorized, principal, director, general and all, then raid कौन करेगा? उससे नीचे वाले लोग, AC, DC, JC, assistant commissioner. कभी कभी when these people are missing, then raid is initiated only by AC, DC, JC. Additional director, commissioner, joint commissioner. Then below them, whoever are the people, they will conduct the raid. Assistant director, deputy director and so on. Okay, right. Listen, dear students, don't worry that how will you remember this topic. It's very scoring. Just understand the flow, and tomorrow when I repeat, you will respond. Let us start from where did I start this topic. When we know that we are going to do survey or raid or search and seizure and all, then what are the powers of income tax authority? Can they call for evidences, documents? Can they examine a person on oath? Yes. Can they issue notices and all? Yes. Can they retain the books of accounts? Yes. But maximum for 15 days. Now, when they initiate search, they already have reason. It's not gossip. They have reason to believe that there are any of the three reasons. क्या reason है? या तो we have issued summons and notices under 140, 131(1) कि ये detail दो नहीं दिया, return भरो नहीं भरा, or we are sure that even if we issue the summons, they will not respond, or any person in his possession of any money, bullion, jewelry or other valuable article, either wholly or partly, he is possessing all that. या तो पूरा नहीं बताया, और या फिर घर का रिनोवेशन एक्सपेंडिचर इज 5 crores. You can look and see कि okay, there are marble walls, veneer, this, that, but they have shown renovation only 5 lakh rupees. So either they have hid it completely. So if they have reason, raid can be initiated by the topmost authorities, 4 year, PCCIT, CIT, PDGIT and GIT and all. If not, if it is already initiated by AC, DC and all, then it can definitely be conducted by assistant director, deputy director and all. Okay, right. Now we start with the exact procedure of raid. Ki raid mein, what are the powers of the authorized officer? First, they can enter any building, place, कोई भी place, कोई भी building, vessel, vehicle, aircraft, where he has reason to suspect that books of accounts, documents or undisclosed income will be kept. मैंने बोला ना, मेरे साथ चल के मेरा गोडाउन खोल सकते हैं. और if they have a doubt कि just as they started the raid, I must have put all my gold in a potly and thrown in my neighbor's house. Can they raid my neighbors? Yes. They know that me and my partner, we have closed business transactions other than partnership firm also. So can they raid my business partner also? Yes. I do lot of my business with my sister in Gujarat, Baroda. Can they send a team to Gujarat also? But Hyderabad people have jurisdiction in Hyderabad. So local, whoever are the ITOs in Baroda, Gujarat, they can inform and they can do over there. Followed? So they have got immense power to enter any places. I told you, locker can be opened only by my signature. But if there is a raid, one ITO will assist me. We will go to the locker, and I am required to open my locker also in front of these income tax authorities, and whatever is recovered from locker, all that belongs to me. नहीं, ये मेरा नहीं है, किसका है मुझे मालूम नहीं है. No innocence. Or if once, as I said, practically when we did the raid, he said that okay, in my jewelry this is there, but this jewelry belongs to my married daughter, जिसका तो अब डिवोर्स है, और ये उसका है, ये मेरा नहीं है, देखो उसमें चिट्ठी भी है and all. No, if it is recovered, it's all mine. Okay, right. And even in raid case, say some कोई बैंक ऑफिसर या कहीं कोई थर्ड हमारे क्लाइंट से, उनके ऑफिसर हमारे प्रीमिसेस में थे, डू दे नीड टू पॉज and after inspection only they'll be allowed to leave? Yes. Staff cannot go home, and no one from outside can come in the house. Like that, lot of restrictions they will put so that they can assess. Otherwise, if staff is allowed कि हाँ staff आप तो जाओ, घर जाओ, तो फिर मेरा जो important कुछ documents है, कुछ pen drive है, कुछ jewelry है, I can put it in the bag of my staff or make her wear my jewelry and चलो उनको तो जाने दो, staff का अपना है. ऐसे नहीं होता. So the first power given to the authorities is they can enter any building, place, vessel, vehicle, aircraft. They can break open the lock of any door. Have you just putting a message to all of you? Did you actually see the Raid movie? Any one of you? How they are breaking the ceiling, they are breaking the pillars. कि ये तो अभी अभी कच्चा लग रहा है, no? आर्टिफिशियल स्टेयर केसेस, ये वो कुछ भी तोड़ दाड़ कर सकते हैं, गद्दे के निकाल सकते हैं, whatever. Following this topic, so can they break open the lock of any door, locker, safe, almirah? Yeah. मेरे घर में रेड करो, मेरे कबर्ड को हाथ नहीं लगाना, उसकी चाबी नहीं मिल रही, मेरे पास नहीं है, ठीक है, मत रख दो चाबी. We know how to get the locker boy and get it open. Are you all getting? So these are the powers. Search any person has got out or is about to get into the building, place, vehicle, vessel, aircraft, if the authorized officer has reason to believe that such person has secreted books of accounts. जो आ रहे वो भी रुक जाओ, जो जाना चाहते हैं they cannot go out in the raid. They can require any person who is found with the possession or control of books of accounts and in the electronic form and all to afford the authorized officer necessary facility to inspect the books of accounts. यहाँ पे लिख दो share the password. अगर आपके ऑफिस की कंप्यूटर्स में पासवर्ड लगे तो वो पासवर्ड आपको शेयर करने पड़ेंगे. They are allowed to check your Insta and all social media accounts so that where you have traveled, how much they have traveled, done all that, they can get the information. Can they seize the books of accounts? Yes. Other documents, money, bullion, jewelry, yes. Certified valuer, they will call this much gold is recovered. पूरा उसका stock बनाते हैं, पंचनामा होता है, sign होती है, and then they can take. In door-to-door survey and all, they cannot take the assets and all. But in search, answer is yes, definitely. They can take the books of accounts, other documents, money, bullion, jewelry, all. Can they place marks of identification on the books of accounts and on? Yes. अदरवाइज तो बाय द टाइम दे अभी आज तो रख के जा रहे हैं, कल ये बुक्स लेके ऑफिस में आना, तब तक तो बुक चेंज हो जाएगी. Either they can take the books of accounts or some chittas if they are recovered and they feel अरे चिट्ठा तो पूरा ब्लैक मनी लग रहा है, कुछ फेक सेल बिल है, ये है वो है, पार्टी के लेजर्स हैं जो कभी आपने बताए नहीं है, तो they can take or they can place the marks of identification. Can they take inventory? Answer is no. They can take all the valuable money, bullion, jewelry and all. Generally inventory they won't, because the rate case goes long और inventory तो आप purchase और sale करते ही है ना, right? Okay. Can they make a note or inventory of any money, bullion, jewelry or other valuable article or thing? Yes. They will make all the list. This gram and this gold and this gram, this gold rings and all. Power to examine person on oath. अब घर में जितने लोग हैं, can they examine? चलो एक एक करके. Can they take written question and can they give to fill up? Yes. Can they do oral interviews? Yes. अब जिसको हमने रीड किया था ना, she was like, मतलब उनके घर में उनके हाउसवाइफ थे and she was getting salary from the firm as a managing director's wife and qualified and all, but actually she was not working in the company and she was not even aware. And when the question was asked directly to her, she was like surprised and she said, no, I don't go to the office and all. So like that, many times the facts come to notice when they examine person on oath in case of rate. Clear? Authorized officers have right to examine an oath any person who is found to be possession or control of any books of accounts, documents, undisclosed income, etc. The statement made by such person during examination may be used as evidence in any proceedings under this act. तो बाद में they can use. Failure to afford the authorized officer the facility to inspect books of accounts and all, then they are liable for punishment and imprisonment. कुछ भी कर लो, हम अपना पासवर्ड नहीं देंगे, हम अपना सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट नहीं देंगे, तो दे हैव अदर सिविल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट जिसे पावर रहता है ना, पुलिस का हेल्प भी लेते हैं काफी बार रेड में. Money, jewelry or other article being stock in trade of business cannot be seized, but a note of inventory stock in trade shall be made. अगर आपकी गोल्ड की दुकान है और गोल्ड खरीदते बेचते हैं, स्टॉक इन ट्रेड है, तो दैट ज्वेलरी एंड ऑल दे कैन नॉट सीज. अदरवाइज ऑफ कोर्स बुलियन, ज्वेलरी, वैल्यूएबल आर्टिकल्स दे विल टेक, बट जो ये है, अगर आपका स्टॉक इन ट्रेड है तो दे विल टेक द इन्वेंटरी एंड दे विल नॉट टेक इट. ओके, right. Check all the powers and ask me doubt, is this clear to all of you or not? Okay, this being very important, I want to revise once again. When there is a raid, what are the powers of the authorized officer? First is, they can enter any premises, vehicle, vessel, aircraft, natives, कुछ भी जो है सब जगह. Okay. Can they break open the door or lock or almirah or safe? Yes. Can they search into any other place, building, vessel, vehicle where they have doubt? Yes. Can they inspect the books of accounts and all? Yes. And can they ask SSC to share all the passwords of all the laptop and desktops or tabs or आपके जो social media account है? Yes. Can they seize books of accounts, money, bullion, jewelry and all? Answer is yes. In case of raid, when they recover, take a pause and listen to some concept. There are many things practical about raid which are not discussed here, but I feel they are important. देखो, जब raid हो रही है ना, तो 80 करोड़ के undisclosed ज्वेलरी या कोई बेनामी प्रॉपर्टी पेपर्स और वो सब आपके घर से मिले, तो ऑन दैट से यू विल बी लायबल टू पे 70 lakhs tax around tentative. So what the ITOs will do, no, in whoever has come for the raid, these income tax officers, they will take all the books of accounts and documents and they'll take all the valuables and all, which will help them to recover the tax up to 70 lakhs. समझ में आ रहा है? तो आपके घर से ज्वेलरी, what do you mean by bullion? गोल्ड बिस्किट, सिल्वर कॉइन्स एक्सेट्रा, ये सब लेके जाएंगे पूरा जो रिकवर हुआ है? नो, only that much which will help them to recover the tax. So when the raid case is going on, they tell to SSC, you pay the tax, we'll release your jewelry and all. If they take extra, then the department while returning should pay 0.5% interest. मतलब I was supposed to take 70 lakhs but I took 100 lakhs. अब 30 lakhs worth की jewelry फिर वापस देनी तो पड़ी ना, तो on that they have to pay interest. It's not mentioned but ये है practical point. Now very important is this note B related to this. Ma'am, just now you said कि whenever there is a raid they can take the money, bullion, jewelry and all. Answer is yes, right? They can take. Okay, now if they are taking the money, jewelry, bullion and all, then if they are say jewelers, then in that case also can they take all the jewelry and all? Answer is no. Whenever there is raid, they cannot take the stock in trade. So bullion, jewelry or other articles being stock in trade cannot be seized, but an inventory can be made. Listen carefully. Generally in raid cases, whatever benami property papers, jewelry, gold, diamonds is recovered, they take. But if you are a jeweler और आपके पास तो jewelry है, so will they take now the jewelry? Because just now you said they can take. Answer is no. If your jewelry is your stock in trade, they will not take, they will leave it, but they will do the valuation. और इसमें भी बहुत लोग पकड़े जाते हैं. Like when there was a raid at ABC Co Limited and जब ज्वेलरी की पूरी इन्वेंट्री बनाई, वैल्यूएशन किया, स्टॉक इन ट्रेड का पूरा टोटल किया, 8 नेकलेसेस, 100 बैंगल्स एंड 50 रिंग्स एंड ऑल, पूरा इन्वेंट्री लेके when they did the stock in trade, इसको 2-3 दिन भी लग जाते हैं और डे नाइट चलता है. So when they did stock in trade, they found that stock was actually of 50 crores. जबकि in books the stock maintained was 20 crore. तो 30 crore का stock तो black money है ना. In short, they can take over jewelry and all, but if it is like stock in trade, they cannot, because the raid case assessment goes on for 12 months and all. तो तब तक फिर ये क्या sale ही नहीं करेंगे अपना जो भी है. I hope now the point is clear. Yeah. Can they place marks of identification on books and all ki okay this is checked by us so that they are not replaced ya koi usme manipulation na ho sake? They'll take inventory. Can they examine the people on oath? Answer is yes. Failure to afford the authorized officer facility to inspect books of accounts or other documents is liable for a punishment. See, if you are not cooperating, यहाँ पे लिख दो no cooperation. You're not cooperating in the raid, you're not ready to share your password, अलमीरा की चाबी नहीं दे रहे हैं, then in that case there is penalties के साथ punishment भी है, and that is imprisonment for 2 years. ठीक है, right? Where any building, place, vessel is within the area of jurisdiction, but such authority has no jurisdiction over such person, okay, and such authority has reason to believe that any delay in getting authorization and all, having jurisdiction over such person may be prejudicial to the interest of revenue, then it shall be competent for him to exercise the above powers. It shall be competent for him to exercise the above powers. Okay. Any assets or documents so seized shall be handed over to AO having jurisdiction of such person within a 60 days from the date on which last authorization. कभी कभी क्या होता है ना कि like our jurisdiction area as I said is Hyderabad, but one of my sister concern or someone is located in Ahmedabad. Can you do all the activities over there also, raid and ye or wo bhi simultaneously? Answer is yes. But there it is recovered that more people are involved and those are all from Ahmedabad, then we don't have jurisdiction. So first to jo required hai primary we will do. Can we extend our jurisdiction area? Answer is yes. And then within 60 days we will hand over the case to Gujarat jurisdiction ki dekho aapke paas ye SSC uska ye hai wo. Okay, just you should know this procedure, but this part is important. What are the total powers of people who are doing raid? Clear hai? Chalo, now how to search other places. In consequence of information in his possession, the PCIT, CCIT, PCIT and has reason to suspect that books of accounts is kept in any other building. Like मैंने बोला ना, resident घर पे है या neighbor के घर पे या native है या friend के घर पे है, they may authorize to officer to exercise such power in respect of such other building also. Reason to suspect as recorded by income tax authority shall not be disclosed to any person or authority or the appellate tribunal. आपको reason रखना है ready, but it is not necessary to disclose. Mark it. This can be asked as a small question. Can the raid be extended to my neighbor's house, to my residence instead of office, and to my native place? Huh? I may be staying in Telangana, but my native is in Andhra. So, idhar udhar sab jagah, can they have raid simultaneously? Yes. So, reason to suspect as recorded in income tax authority shall not be disclosed. Okay? Right. Power to take police. You know, sometimes a lot of conflicts are there, what we see, and these people are not cooperating. कहीं पे कोई cooperation नहीं है. So can they take help of the police? Yes. Please remember all the powers of the civil code of procedure is also applicable. तो बिल्कुल पुलिस का help ले सकते हैं. But can the AO arrest and take the person? Very nice question. आपने पूरा झूठ बोला, गलत इनकम बताई, 5 लाख का खर्चा है, 50 करोड़ का खर्चा किया है रिनोवेशन में, चलो हमारे साथ ऑफिस में. Can they take? No, that right is not given to the income tax authorities. They can seize books of accounts, they can seize assets valuable, but they cannot arrest the person. वो power नहीं है income tax authorities को. Under 130, अगर ज्यादा violence हो रहा है, कुछ है, तो they can take help of the police and let police there do their work. ITO cannot do. Under 132, no power has been conferred on the authorized officer to arrest the person who is founded or suspected to be in possession of any document, etc., that represents partly or wholly income or property not disclosed. So 132 में बिल्कुल no power has been conferred on AO to arrest the person who is found guilty or in document and all that represents undisclosed income.Undisclosed है, asset लेके जाओ, केस चलने दो, उसको टाइम देते हैं 10 years 7 years का ब्लॉक बना के कि फिर से modified return फाइल करो, वो सब है, but you cannot take that person in jail. Okay, right? This is given in the case. Impounding of assets after conversion, superb, market important. This is like one case study of 3 marks. Ma'am, 3 marks, not even 3 lines. I have written the gist here. You know, when there is a raid, we can take the cash, bullion, jewelry. Now we raided a person और उसके पास cash है ही नहीं. But in his bank account, when we went with him, locker में भी, और उसके bank account में बहुत सारा पैसा था. Can we say bank से पैसा withdraw करो और वो कैश हमको दो और वो कैश हम सीज करके लेके जाएंगे? आंसर इज नो, दैट इज नॉट अलाउड. Cash in bank is conceptually different from cash in hand. I hope it's like basic accounting. And it was not permissible for department to convert that cash and thereafter impound it. You cannot take that cash in bank जो है उसको cash in hand में convert करके उसको लेके जाएंगे, ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है. ठीक है, राइट. चलो, deemed or constructive seizure. Already 2 times they have asked you short note. Write the short note on deems and constructive seizure. I'll explain you this concept orally. ये देखो, so many times when there is raid, they want to take over the bullion or the assets or undisclosed assets and all, but because of the nature of that asset you cannot move it. Sometimes the locker itself is so heavy और उसके अंदर इतने सारे gold coins है कि इतना ले जाना तो possible नहीं है. Or sometimes such items are recovered that may be dangerous or you cannot carry it. Then instead of seizing it and making inventory and taking it, Can they do deemed seizure? Deemed seizure means they will put over the all the details कि ये हमने check किया है, वो room को ताला मार देंगे वहीं पे. In the premises of SSC, one of the room, they will collect all the antiques. Suppose they feel these antiques are of crores of rupees, and they are undisclosed. But they are so heavy. There are idols and all which are like weighing 50 kgs, 100 kgs and all. They don't want to take it. They'll put it all in one room, seal, lock that, और उसके ऊपर गवर्नमेंट का सील लगा के जाते हैं वैक्स के साथ जो कोई खोल ना सके. And they will make all the details that these are the deemed to be seized assets. These are here only at the SSC's premises, but हमारा है, हमने seize करके इसको यहाँ रखा है. You cannot remove it, sell it, do anything unless the case is solved for rate. That's what is deemed seizure. हाँ? हम लोग जैसे प्रोविजनल अटैचमेंट करते हैं ना इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी का, वैसे where it is not possible or practical to take the physical possession of any valuable article and thing and remove it because of the volume, weight, physical characteristics. हाँ, काफी बक्से heavy हैं. और because of the dangerous nature. कुछ हाँ बहुत सारे 100 किलो RDX मिला तो हम कहाँ लेके जाएंगे? RDX पड़े रहने दो वहीं पे. And let us seize it, right? So authorized officer may serve an order on the owner person who has immediate control of the valuable, that he shall not remove with, part with, or otherwise deal with such article without the permission of the authorized officer. Without our permission, you cannot enter here. Such action of the authorized officer shall be deemed to be the seizure of such article or thing. समझ में आया? That's what is deemed seizure, they are saying. No such order can be passed by any article or thing being stock in trade. Though such order can be passed for reason other than those mentioned above, but in that case, order shall not be deemed to be the seizure of such article and shall not be enforced for a period of 60 days, exceeding 60 days. ये underline करो. ये जो आपने सर्च और किया है ना, ये स्टॉक इन ट्रेड के लिए आप नहीं कर सकते. मतलब you cannot take the stock in trade, you cannot do deem seizure of stock in trade की ताला मार के stock in trade को एक रूम में रखो. अरे stock in trade उनका रूटीन है, परचेजिंग एंड सेलिंग ऑफ गुड्स, ओपनिंग स्टॉक, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक उनका बिजनेस है ना. आप लेके जा सकते हो ना आप डीम सीज कर सकते हो स्टॉक इन ट्रेड. और जो सीज करके लेके जा रहे हो, ऐसे रख के जा रहे हो, that will be valid maximum for how many days? 60 days. After that again it will become free. Should I pause? You want to read or all clear until now? Tell me. This is a very simple procedure. कोई भी डाउट है तो पूछो. लग रहा है ना ऐसे कोई मूवी देख रहे हैं, हाँ पहले रेड हुई, यहाँ जाओ वहां जाओ, ये करो वो करो, अब ये चीज लेके जाओ, ये मत लेके जाओ, ये हैवी है, डेंजरस है, तो वहीं पे सीज करके रखे जाओ. And this will be valid for how many days? 60 days. Same way, provisional attachment. See, we know that so and so person we have raided is having crores of rupees of Benami properties. And now undisclosed income and all. So sometimes we are allowed to take it. But immovable property we cannot take. हम अनुमान जी नहीं है कि पूरा उठा के immovable property department के पास ले जाके रखें. No. But then we don't want to leave it as it is. Because if we don't do the provisional attachment of these property, what is provisional attachment? That on this property, income tax department is having attachment against the raid case going on you. You cannot deal, transact, sell or give it on rent without our permission. बात खत्म. समझ में आ रहा है क्यों करेंगे? Sometimes all that is undisclosed income is in the form of the property. So the moment raid has happened, this person blah 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 done आधे रेट में पूरे properties बेच दिए, अब करो जो करना है. अरे but we have to recover cash from this person, but cash नहीं है, तो can we keep an attachment on the provisional attachment on the property? Answer is yes. Is this clear to all of you what is provisional attachment in case of search and seizure and all? Right. The authorized officer may attach provisionally any property belonging to the SSC. Authorized officer may attach provisionally any property belonging to the SSC. Okay. Provisions of the second schedule of Income Tax Act with regard to attachment and sale of immovable property shall also be applicable to this provisional attachment. आपको मीनिंग समझा प्रोविजनल अटैचमेंट का? आई एम रीडिंग. Still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. The authorized officer may attach provisionally any property with regard to attachment and sale of property shall also be applicable. Provisional attachment may be made for purpose of protecting interest of the revenue. पैसे तो रिकवर करने हैं ना. हमने रेड किया 50 लाख आपसे आने हैं, पता चला आपने दूसरे दिन पूरे प्रॉपर्टी बेच के आप तो चले गए इंडिया छोड़ के, अब कहाँ पकड़ने जाए? So better है, let us attach the property. Even if you try to transfer it, the stamp duty valuer will not कि नहीं इसके against तो rate चल रहा है, right? Provisional attachment can be made for the purpose of protecting the interest of revenue after recording the reason in writing. Previous written approval from shall be obtained by authorized officer, and provisional attachment shall be made during the course of search within 60 days from the date on which last authorization was executed. Valid period of the provisional attachment. Provisional attachment shall cease to have effect after the expiry of 6 months. ये जो डीम सीजर था ये तो 60 days के लिए था. Provisional attachment shall be made during the course of search or 60 days from the date on which last authorization was executed. सर्च होने के बाद भी अगर लग रहा है कि नहीं टैक्स रिकवर करना है और कुछ तो हमारे पास इंटरेस्ट प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए होना चाहिए, देन विद इन 60 days फ्रॉम द डेट ऑन विच लास्ट ऑफ ऑथोराइजेशन. तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट है कि you just cannot attach the property when the raid is going on. Even after that, within 60 days from the date on which last authorization, you can still attach the property. Validity period of provisional attachment. Provisional attachment made shall cease to have effect after the expiry of 6 months from the date. 6 महीने से ज्यादा property को attach करके नहीं रख सकते. Meanwhile, you can refer during the course of search or within 60 days from date on which last authorization was executed. Authorized officer may refer the property which he is attaching to valuation officer. उसका valuation करने के लिए valuation officer याद है ना, हमने वहां पे किए थे. Valuation officer shall estimate the FMV as and shall submit the report within 60 days. For the purpose of 139(9)(a), 9(b), execution of authorization, deeming provisions of 153(b) will apply. मतलब assessment procedure में आपको जो भी सर्च से रिलेटेड है all procedure will apply. 153BB और 147B, हर जगह 147 ऐड हो जाएगा. चलो ओके, क्लियर है? फिर से एक बार, कैन दे आस्क राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन डीम सीजर, वहीं के वहीं सील कर लो, बिकॉज ऑफ वेट और बिकॉज ऑफ द नेचर यू कैन नॉट टेक इट and you cannot remove or part with it. Yeah, and it will be valid for 60 days. Provisional attachment you can do while the raid is going on, even after the raid is completed within 60 days, and it's valid for 6 months. In between you can send it for valuation. Right, next one. Authorization and assessment in case of search. It shall not be necessary to issue an authorization or make a requisition separately in the name of each person. See, when there is a raid, they need to come with a warrant. So suppose there's a partnership firm with 4 partners. अगर warrant होगा partnership firm के नाम से, but एक partner के नाम से, can others they 3 they say मेरे को तो मालूम ही नहीं क्या है, मेरा तो नाम भी नहीं है, ये वो, no. So one who is representing uske naam se means you all are jointly responsible. It is not necessary to issue authorization and all separately in the name of each person. Where authorization has been issued or has been made mention therein in the name of more than one person, mention of name or more than one person on such authorization shall not be deemed to construe that it was issued in the name of an association or body of individuals and all. Huh? So it shall not be deemed to construe that it was issued in the name of AOPBR. पर किसी एक के नाम से दिया है तो भी चलेगा. Though requisition has been made mentioning there in the name of more than one person, assessment shall be made separately in the name of each person mentioned in the authorization. ठीक है. अगर ग्रुप के नाम से तो कोई एक पार्टनर के नाम से आएगा, और अगर पार्टनर के नाम से आए तो in his personal name, then others are not responsible. ठीक है. Chalo, time limit for retention. The books of accounts documents seized shall not be retained by authorized officer for a period of exceeding 30 days. Normally, you cannot take it for more than 15 days, but raid में 30 days from the date of order of assessment. एक बार raid खत्म होने के बाद, assessment of order आने के बाद, within 30 days, the AO is required to return the books. समझ में आ रहा है? रेड का केस चल रहा है तब तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बट रेड होगा तो 30 डेज के अंदर वापस दे देना है. सी आई रिमेम्बर व्हेन वी हैव अटेंडेड द रेड हैपेंड ऑन 10th जुलाई. ओके, से 1997-98 की बात है. अब 10th जुलाई को बुक सीज करके लेके गए और केस तो चल रहा है, पर 97-98 का ऑडिट तो होना है ना. तो कैन द एसएससी गो टू द डिपार्टमेंट एंड टेक जेरोक्स ऑफ बुक्स फ्रॉम 1/4/1997 to 10th July 97 till the date of the raid. जो भी बुक सीज करके लेके गए उसका जेरोक्स लाते हैं और जेरोक्स का ऑडिट करवाते हैं. वी कैन नॉट से सर दिस ईयर्स ऑडिट वी हैव डन आफ्टर 10th जुलाई, क्योंकि उसके पहले के बुक्स तो डिपार्टमेंट ले गए. ऐसा नहीं होता है. समझ में आ रहा है? So whenever raid ka assessment is done and everything is over, you cannot retain the books and all for more than 30 days. Except it can be retained for more than 30 days where reason for retaining the same are recorded. Amount पूछा था अभी तक आया नहीं है. Or with the approval of the principal chief commissioner and all commissioner DGIT, it can be retained if required. Otherwise, within 30 days they will return. Power of the board to pass. Where a person is legally entitled to books of accounts, such person objects for any reason to approval given by authorities, and such person makes an application to board stating the reason for such objection for return of books. Then board may, after giving application of an opportunity, pass such order. बीच बीच में अगर एसएससी बोलते हैं कि नहीं नहीं हमारा सब बरोबर था आप लेके गए, तो दे नीड टू रिप्लाई टू द एसएससी एंड दे कैन पास द ऑर्डर. ठीक है, right. Next, presumptions in case of raid or search. 4 times this question is asked. Whatever I've told until now, what is deemed seizure, what is provisional attachment, and these are the theory questions repeated. So mark it, very, very important. Presumptions in case of search. Where any books of accounts, documents, money, bullion, jewelry, or thing are found in possession or control of any person in the course of search, it may be presumed that, मतलब अगर रेड हुई है तो हम कुछ ना कुछ अज्यूम करेंगे. यू नो दिस इज लाइक बिना देखे. अब रेड हुई है आपके घर पे, जो रिकवर हुआ है बिलोंग्स टू यू, जहां पे सिग्नेचर है आपके हैं, जो बुक्स में लिखा है वो करेक्ट है. You know, we'll have certain assumptions when we are doing raid so that you will not conflict. Whatever is recovered from the home of SSC belongs to SSC. Wherever signature is there, ये SSC की है. SSC cannot deny मेरी signature है, मेरे को तो नहीं मालूम, किसी और ने fraud से किया है. नो, आपकी है. जो आपके घर से मिला वो सब आपका है, right? And all the assets, properties, everything is owned by the SSC. They cannot deny. So very beautiful this question is. देखो, what are the presumptions? Books of accounts, documents, money, jewelry, everything belongs to the SSC. SSC ये आपका ही है. और content of books of accounts and all सब true है. बुक में जो लिखा है सर मुझे तो मालूम ही नहीं है 50 lakhs की कैश क्रेडिट एंट्री कब ली, किसने ली, कैसे आया. नो, यू वेरी वेल नो इट, and whatever is written in the books of accounts is correct, and books of accounts also belong to you. Signature or any and every other part of the books and other documents in handwriting are in person's handwriting, and in case of documents stamped, executed, attested, it was duly stamped and executed or attested by whom it purports to have been so executed or attested. So in the case of a person, in case of document stamped, executed, it was all stamped, executed by person. मतलब जो अगर आपने कुछ लीगली आपने पूरा अग्रीमेंट बनाए सब है तो वो सब आपने ही किया है. फिर से एक बार, what are the presumptions? Books of accounts, jewelry, assets, whatever is recovered that belongs to SSE. Whatever is written in the books of accounts, content, they are true. Every place where it is signature of SSE, that is your signature only. And in case of documents stamped and all, it was duly authorized, stamped and executed or attested by whom it purports to have been so executed or attested. मतलब आपने ही किया है, पूरे डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो भी है सब बरोबर बनाए हैं. ठीक है, क्लियर है? चेक करो, कुछ डाउट है तो पूछो. Right. So majorly, take a pause and let us go back. Until now we have finished 4 pages of reading this chapter. क्या पढ़ा? In case of raid, before initiating the raid, what are the powers of income tax authority? They can call person with books and all. They can inspect books. They can seize maximum for 15 days. Okay, right. Who can initiate the raid? Top authorities when they have reason to believe कि इसको notice दी है तो is not responding, और इसको notice देके फायदा नहीं है, or they recover money, jewelry, bullion and all. तो फिर right. And who will start the raid? Powers of the authorized officer. ये मैंने 2 बार पढ़ लिया, फिर से एक बार. You can enter premises, buildings, break open, lock, search, require, seize, place marks of identification, all. Okay. Failure to afford the authorized officer. Except, you can inspect the person on oath and you can seize the books of accounts, jewelry, benami, property papers, everything except stock in trade. Stock in trade आप seize भी नहीं कर सकते, deem seize भी नहीं कर सकते. Right. Can extension of jurisdiction area, is it possible? Yes. अगर इमरजेंसी है तो अभी तो वहां भी सब रेड कर लो, बाद में hand it over to those authorities. Can they take help of police? Yes. Can they ask the bank to convert in cash and then we will seize? Answer is no. If it cannot be seized physically, can they do deem seizure because of the nature, weight, volume and all? Yes. And they cannot part with. And this seizure is maximum 60 days. If they feel that need taxes are to be recovered will not be sufficient, then in the interest of the revenue, can they do provisional attachment of the property? Answer is yes. Okay, right. They can. And when they do provisional attachment of the property, they can take help of the valuation officer also and all. Okay, right. Authorization and assessment in case of search. ठीक है, ये सब तो रूटीन है. और आप कितने दिन रख सकते हैं? वंस द रेड केस इज ओवर, असेसमेंट इज कंप्लीटेड विद इन 30 days. Okay, books of accounts, other documents seized and all should be returned back. Is the board having the power to pass an order? Yes, in case of raid. Whenever there is raid, we assume कि whatever books of accounts, assets, all is recovered that belongs to you. Books mein whatever is written is correct. Wherever it is signature, it's your signature. Okay? And all documents and all are properly stamped. Right. Next now, other provisions. Can we take, should I pause, dear students? Any point, anywhere you felt, ma'am, can you re-explain this point or anything? Pucho. सर्वे कल करेंगे और इससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आंसर्स भी करेंगे कल. Can they take help of the government officers? You know, काफी बार for the rate they need. Yeah. You'll get recording if you want to watch again, no problem. Just every day's recordings are uploaded on the next day. In case if you want to watch it again, please do watch, no problem. And when you know my way of teaching, today's base level explanation. I will only make you learn important things by tomorrow's class, half an hour first, when I discuss question answers related to this. Okay. And you know, sometimes the rate is like very huge. We need a staff of more than 100, 150 people. क्योंकि इनके इतने factories हैं, godowns हैं, native है, ये है, वो है. Can we take help of the government officers? Yes. It shall be duty of every police officer or the government officers to assist in raid. Right to make copies and extract. Yes, they can take Xeroxes copies. Power of the board to make rules. Board will make the rules related to search and seizure. Yeah. Provision of code of civil procedure will apply. जो High Court, Supreme Court के लिए बताया था आपको जहां भी रेड हो रही है. Power to requisition books of accounts seized by other department. GST. Superb. See, we have conducted raid at XYZ Limited and already their books of accounts are seized by GST department. Can we take copies from the GST department की नहीं इनकम टैक्स में भी हमको लग रहा है कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ है तो आपसे कॉपी दे दो या आपका काम हो जाए तो एसएससी को वापस मत देना हमको दे देना. Can we take directly? Answer is yes. 132A. Where income tax authority has reason to believe that any person to whom summon was issued has omitted or failed to produce the books of accounts and the said books of accounts have been taken in custody under any other law, GST or Companies Act. Any books of accounts will be useful for relevant under this act and person to whom such books have been issued will not produce such books, then he can take the copies from there. Any asset taken in custody by officer under any law for timing in force, they can. If they feel it is not disclosed properly, can they take?
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, please say. Ask.
My question is from survey to Seizure, is there income tax officers will take the video recording for future reference?
Yeah, they do take camera recording. Arey, please ask doubts like this. You have reminded me of something very nice. Listen, all of you. When there was this ban of notes, old notes, notebandi hua tha, I think in September or November 2018, if I'm not wrong. So that time, what people were doing, you know, we have lot of black money at home, 500 notes and 1000 notes, which are not valid now, old notes. Okay. So we could go to the bank and get it converted. But when we go to bank, we need to disclose. We have not disclosed. So people were going to the jewelry shops and अगर मेरे पास 1000 रुपए के 1000 नोट है, I cannot go to the bank and convert it. I will go to the jewelry shop or इसके against I will get gold. So lot of things were going on like this. And that was the time when gold jewelry sale and all was at peak. Then income tax officers have got a power to ask for the recording of those days. Yes, definitely. That from 8th of November to say 16th of November, huge sale is being done at your jewelry store. Can you give all the recordings? कितने कस्टमर आए थे अब बस ऐसे ही बिल बना लिए और ज्वेलरी दे दिए और कैश ले लिए, whatever. So definitely they can take the recordings. Okay, right. Now see, power to requisition books, assets, etc. seized by other department. Can they take more help from other department? जैसे किसी का केस कस्टम के पास चल रहा है, जीएसटी के पास चल रहा है, काफी बार इंस्टेड ऑफ इनकम टैक्स द फर्स्ट पीपल टू कैच होल्ड ऑफ द एसएससी स्पेमा. कितना सारा फॉरेन एक्सचेंज कर रहे हैं, इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट है, चल क्या रहा है कंपनी में. So if they have seized, we can say after you finish, give it to us. Or simultaneously, if we want to work, can we take copies from them? Yes. Where income tax authorities has reason to believe that any person to whom summon or notice was issued to produce any books of accounts or other documents has failed to produce books. All such books and documents have been taken into custody by officer or authority under any other law, or any books will be useful for relevant proceeding under this act, and any person to whom notice has been issued will not give the books. हाँ, एक बार जीएसटी ने वापस दे दिया तो एसएससी से मिलना नहीं है, पहले ही जीएसटी को बोल दो आपका काम हो जाए तो हमको दे देना. Any asset taken into custody under any other law for the time being in force is undisclosed, they can take it over. They can take over all when they have reason to believe. Okay, right. Who will give this requisition? Additional director, as the additional commissioner, joint director, joint commissioner, assistant director, deputy director. वो चार टॉप अथॉरिटीज के नीचे वाले लोग और एओ से ऊपर. आई होप यू रिमेंबर दैट डायग्राम. एंड दे आर टू बी authorized from top offices: PDGIT, DGIT, PCCIT, Chief Commissioner, and so on. Okay, right. Did you understand this topic? Power of requisition of books, assets, etc. belonging to other department? Yes. You can ask them to hand over when you have a doubt that this person won't show us. Next, power of requisitioning officer. Requisitioning officer can make requisition for delivery of the books, etc. to such authority. Such authority shall deliver the books, other documents or assets to the requisition officer when such officer or authority is of opinion that it is no longer necessary to retain the same. For instance, books seized by officer under custom can be requisitioned by income tax authority to deliver. On requisition, other authorities will deliver the books. Okay, and they shall be deemed as seized. आपका काम हो जाए तो हमको दे देना. Requisition मतलब ले लो सीधा उनसे books. The reason to believe as recorded by income tax authority shall not be disclosed. A bank draft when presented for clearing by the customer to bank cannot be said to have been taken into custody to attach the applicability of 132A. Resultantly, warrant of authorization requisitioning the same by is totally without jurisdiction. मतलब कैन यू से कि अरे ये डिमांड ड्राफ्ट कोई कस्टमर का आया है ना, इसको एनकैश करके पूरे पैसे हमको दो, वी नीड टू रिकवर द टैक्सेस? नो, दैट आल्सो यू कैन नॉट डू. बट यस, you can requisition the other officers and let them take it. Chalo. See, now I am teaching. I will definitely take 2-3 lectures wherein I will tell you the gist of all. Ki I really want to help you कि अब ये सब learn तो क्या, इसको याद कैसे करोगे. But except for 2 practical topics like MAT and charitable trust, you have to remember the format. You have to practice more problems. But definitely, deductions, TDS, which are very important at final level, I will make the video and give it to all of you for sure. Application of seized or requisition assets. Yes. Whatever assets they have taken over, can they use it to recover the taxes? Answer is yes. See, we will complete the assessment in 147, 148, and we will tell to SSC कि आपका इतना टैक्स बनता है, या टैक्स दे दो, नहीं तो जो assets सीज किए हैं उनको बेच के we will recover. The seized assets may be adjusted with amount of existing liability. Existing liability does not include it. मैम एक काम करो ना, वैसे ही आप asset तो सीज किए हो ना, अभी 23-24 का 15 जून आ रहा है ना एडवांस टैक्स, वो भी ले लो उसमें से. ऐसा नहीं होता. This is seized to recover the earlier 7 to 10 years of tax block assessment. So existing liability does not include advance tax, but what is the liability right now for this raid case? Can we recover that from the seized asset? Yes. अमाउंट ऑफ लायबिलिटी डिटरमिन ऑन द कंप्लीशन ऑफ द असेसमेंट, जो भी रेट का है वो तो पे करना पड़ेगा. अमाउंट ऑफ लायबिलिटी डिटरमिन ऑन कंप्लीशन ऑफ असेसमेंट ऑफ द ईयर relating to previous year in which search is initiated, including penalty and all. Earlier years में जहां जहां penalty interest हुआ है वो सब पे करना पड़ेगा. An amount in respect of which such person is in default or deemed to be default, or liability arising on application made to settlement commission. Settlement commission अब नहीं है. Okay, so it's not exactly there, मतलब उसको एक अलग वे में कर लिया है अभी, and that is not there in our syllabus, तो वो सब भी डिस्कस नहीं करना है. But right now most important is whatever assets you have recovered, can you use it to recover your taxes, existing taxes? Number one, yes. Amount of your taxes for completion of the assessment, yes. Amount of liability determined on the completion of assessment of the relevant year in which search is initiated or requisition is made, including penalty, interest, all. You can't say कि seized asset में से tax तो adjust करो, penalty, interest हम नहीं करने देंगे ना. An amount in respect of which such person is in default or is deemed to be in default, or amount of liability arising on application made. हाँ, तो जो default है वो सब recover होगा. ठीक है. Last one now. Raid is over. We have requisitioned the asset. We have taken over. Okay. All the assets and all. And now when the raid is over, can we release the asset? First proviso to 132B. 132B is apply the assets and recover the taxes. 132B is first proviso is release of asset. Yes. Where following conditions are satisfied, amount of existing liability may be recovered out of asset and remaining portion of asset may be released to the person from whose custody they are seized, where the concerned make an application to AO within 30 days of end of the month in which asset was seized. Nature and scope of acquisition of asset is explained. Assessing officer obtains prior approval of the higher authorities and then they will release. So कभी कभी क्या होता है ना, conditions for release of asset, यहाँ पे मैंने एक term लिखा है जिसका नाम है explained asset. Anyone knows what is explained asset? Explained asset का meaning क्या होगा, समझ में आया? See, they have seized everything. Okay, 100 rupees worth asset they have seized. Now 30 rupees assets are genuinely acquired by me. This is the proof of income I have earned, and this is the proof that from this earned income after paying the tax I have acquired this asset. So can they release that part? Answer is yes. So where the following conditions are satisfied, amount of existing liability may be recovered out of asset and remaining portion of asset may be released. The person concerned makes an application to the AO within 30 days from the end of the month in which asset was seized. Nature of scope of asset he should explain. And the assessing officer, with the prior approval of the chief commissioner, he may release the asset. Asset or portion thereof shall be received within a period of 120 days from the date on which last authorization, or as the case may be, was executed. So within 120 days from the date on which last of authorization and all is recovered, they will release the asset. No seized asset shall be retained by department during pendency of appeal filed by the revenue. अगर केस आगे चला गया है, appeals and all, then they cannot retain the assets. Okay. In short, the gist is whatever assets are explained, they need to release it. But for that, you have to make application within 30 days from the end of the month in which asset was seized. Yes. And then they will release it. Within 120 days from date on which last authorization or search was requisitioned. Order of assets to be applied. Whatever you have seized, सबसे पहले आप क्या apply करोगे to discharge the liability? Obviously cash. Because if you have seized the asset, you have to get it valued, you have to sell it, recover the money, and then. So first always you will apply the money, then assets other than the money. It is to be noted that assessee shall be discharged of liability to extent of money, and however AO shall not be precluded from recovery of above liabilities by any other mode. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Order of discharge, पहले आप क्या यूज करोगे? money, then other assets. It is to be noted that assessee shall be discharged of liability to the extent of money and assets so applied. However, assessing officer shall not be precluded from the recovery of above liabilities by any other mode. After discharging all liabilities, if assets or proceeds thereafter left, then shall be returned to the person from whom they have seized. And mark it very important. Aggregate जो भी excess return कर रहे हैं ना, interest देना पड़ेगा. Where aggregate amount of money seized or realized exceeds the aggregate of amount of money which was required to meet simple interest at 0.5% per month, जो हम 234D में भी देते हैं refund पे. Interest shall be payable from the date immediately following the expiry of 120 days. 120 days में दे देना था, वापस नहीं दिया. From the date on which last of authorization or requisition was executed to the date on which completion of the assessment. 0.5% interest on the excess amount of cash or assets refunded to assessee. In case of raid, you have to give. Interest shall be payable from the date immediately following 120 days. From the date on which authorization was executed, वहां से 120 days के बाद till the date of the completion of assessment. चलो assessment खत्म हो गया, story खत्म करो. ठीक है? Yes. Now, penalties and prosecution is like jail, is a separate topic, but important penalties I am covering in every chapter. Most important I have covered in transfer pricing, learn and go those. And now, penalty under 271 AAB for search. Okay, so what is the penalty? If the assessee admits the undisclosed income, substantiate the manner in which he has derived, pay the taxes, files the return and all, in short, he is surrendering, then 30% of the undisclosed income. And if the assessee does not admit the undisclosed income, but declares that such income in the return of income furnished. Okay, मतलब या आप पहले ही agree कर रहे हो. Okay, first only you are admitting undisclosed income and pays tax along with interest on undisclosed income and furnishes return declaring within the specified time, then 30% of undisclosed income is the penalty. But if the assessee doesn't admit the undisclosed income but declares it in the return, raid or sub hone ke baad, along with taxes and interest and all, then 60%. And in any other case, 60% of undisclosed income is the penalty. So we will take a pause here. We will continue this survey and door-to-door survey and these question answers. Yeah. तो अच्छे से पढ़ के आना है, तो ये क्वेश्चन आंसर्स भी आपको समझ में आएंगे. Okay. What is the gist of today's procedures? Can raid be initiated by the officer? Yes. Top authorities. But if top authorities themselves authorize, raid can be initiated by ACDC on, but above the AO के ऊपर level के officer. Whenever raid is initiated, before that they can take the books for 15 days, and raid khatam hote se within 30 days they have to return whatever assets they seize. Out of that first money, later other assets they will use to recover the taxes. Remaining they will hand it over back with 0.5% interest. In the raid case, sometimes jurisdiction of other people, other area is also allowed and later hand it over. In case of raid, it is not necessary to give notice to each and every partner or director and all separately. एक को आ गया, firm के नाम से आ गया, हो गया. And then if other people are caught up or our information is recovered from other people, then we can hand over the jurisdiction. You can go open the lock and all. Sometimes in the raid, assets are seized and those assets are explained by assessee. No, I have earned it, I have paid tax, and then I have purchased this asset. Then within 30 days of the initiating of the raid, he can explain and those assets will be seized. Okay. Otherwise, raid case mein the assets can be seized for longer period, right? Okay. So that's the best gist I could give. Repeatedly read this topic. Tomorrow we will do question answers related to this and then we will complete the raid. Coming Sunday exam will be there on rate, tonnage, tax, all small topics. I'll put a message. Okay, right. और ये कैसे पढ़ना है, आई होप आप सबको क्लियर है. 269 SST भी आपको कैसे पढ़ना है, याद रखना है, राइट? ओके, यस. Ask doubts if you have, or you have done it in your internship, raid case or anything, and you want to share, you can share. Children are allowed to go to school, when we were doing the raid, but obviously उनका कोई काम ही नहीं है कि घर में बैठो, but all the other family members should stay, all staff should stay. Those who are coming for outside, either they don't allow to go in, and very much necessary, अब cook है, घर के maid है, वो है, तो आ जाएंगे तो फिर यहीं रहना पड़ेगा, आना जाना नहीं कर सकते. ऐसे सब practicalities है. ठीक है, right? That's all for today, dear students. Thank you so much. We will continue this tomorrow. Yes. Any of you wants to say anything? Any queries? Write all the exams. Kusumpriya, for you, 1 or 2 separate topics are there. Base erosion and all that I will take separately. और जो किया है और जहाँ से recordings बाकी हैं अभी complete करो. Send me in mail all chapter wise exams when you finish writing. If you want after 1st of July, because your attempt is still time is there, you can come here and write the exam. We will decide कि ये week में ये prepare करो. 1st July के बाद से I have some schedule till then, so you can come weekly once and write the exam here. It's not you alone. Many of them are asking November attempt. I said I'll fix up and make a timetable. So physically when you come and write here, it will make a difference. Okay.